you think Patek Philippe. And usually it's all about that timeless elegance, right?
Absolutely. Classic dress watches mostly come to mind.
Exactly. So what happens when a brand like that,
Yeah.
takes this surprising turn into, well, into vintage pilot watches?
It sounds like a bit of a clash, doesn't it?
It does. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're starting this deep dive. Think back maybe to Basel World 2015. There was
Yeah.
this really unexpected arrival.
Oh, yeah, that caused quite a stir. The Patek Philippe Calatrava pilot travel time, Ref 5524.
That's the one.
And it's interesting to think about that initial reaction because for so many people, Patek was, and, mostly still is, about those super refined dress watches. Not really the kind of robust, functional tool watches you'd link with early pilots.
Right.
So that first 5524, the white gold one with the really distinctive blue dial and those big pushers on the left.
Yeah, very prominent.
For the dual time complication, it definitely made people do a double take.
For sure. It was clearly built for, well, practicality, a proper instrument for travelers.
Exactly, a tool.
And it wasn't just a flash in the pan, was it?
Yeah.
That original white gold blue dial 5524, okay, that one's gone now, discontinued.
Right.
But Patek just brought out a new version. Still white gold, keeps all the tech specs, but now it has this really elegant ivory lacquered dial. The reference is 5524G zero toner now.
Ah, okay. So what started out as this kind of surprise
Yeah,
has actually grown into its own little collection.
it really has.
And if you look at the brand's history, I mean, Patek does have some connection to aviation, but it's limited.
Right, like those old hour ankle watches
Yeah.
from way back.
Yeah, 1936 siderometer watches, basically navigation tools.
Okay.
But unlike some other brands, that didn't really become a whole line of pilot watches for them.
No,
So when the 5524 came out in 2015, it felt fresh, not really. Like they were just digging up an old design.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like you said, it found its audience, the Calatrava pilot travel time, it sort of clicked.
It did seem to resonate, yeah. People liked that mix, I think. The sturdy function, but still with that undeniable Patek level of finish.
Totally. And it grew from there. There's a ladies' version now.
More refined.
The alarm travel time, which is packed with features.
Super complicated, yeah.
Chronograph, too. And that really nice rose gold one, the 5524R brown dial, that's actually still around.
Which, says something about how well that initial design actually landed.
Definitely.
It got past the, whoa, that's a different stage, and became, a proper part of the Patek lineup.
Which brings us right to today's focus. This new 5524G with that ivory dial.
The star of the show today.
Right. So mechanics are the same, but the look, it's definitely leaning more classic, more elegant this time.
Yeah, the specs inside are identical. But that dial color, it just changes the whole personality of the watch, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, thinking about original pilot watches, what was absolutely essential? Like the must-haves.
Oh, legibility. Above everything else. I mean, imagine you're in a cockpit, lights changing all the time. You need to see the time instantly. No squinting.
That makes sense.
So that meant high contrast dial versus hands, and of course, lume. Good luminescence for when it's dark.
And you see that, like, directly influencing this new 5524G. Look at those big applied Arabic numerals.
Yeah.
They're black and white gold, so they stand out against the ivory.
Strong contrast.
And then filled with that yellowish lume, you can just picture them glowing, right?
Definitely. And that black outline from the white gold just makes them pop even more, defines them really shortly.
Yeah.
And it's not just the numbers, the main hands for local time, the solid ones. Charcoal gray, white gold, also filled with that same yellow lume.
Okay.
And here's a neat little detail. The gray on the hands is slightly lighter than the blackening on the numerals.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Just adds a subtle visual separation, I think. Stops everything from sort of blurring together, keeps it crisp.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Really thoughtful. And then there's the second hour hand, the skeleton one.
Also white gold, also charcoal gray coated.
And that shows your home time.
Right. And the clever thing is, when you don't need it, when you're not tracking a second time zone, you can hide it right underneath the main hour hand. It just sort of disappears, keeps the dial looking clean.
That's brilliant. Really functional design without cluttering things up.
Exactly. And then you've got those two little round windows for day-night.
Clearly labeled local and home.
Yep. White for day, blue for night, super practical, easy to read, but they don't dominate the dial.
No, they fit right in. And what else on the dial? There's the railway track for the minutes around the edge.
Classic touch. Black printing there.
Central seconds hand. Does that have lume?
Just on the tip, yeah. Another practical detail for timing things.
And the date. Subdial at 6 o'clock.
Mhm.
Linked to local time, which makes sense for a travel watch.
Makes total sense. You want the date where you currently are.
Okay, let's talk case. It's 42 millimeters, polished white gold.
Nice size. Feels modern, but not enormous.
And pretty slim, actually, considering the complication inside.
Yeah.
What is it, just under 11 millimeters?
10.78 millimeters, yeah. It wears really well. Doesn't feel bulky despite housing that pretty complex movement.
And those pushers on the left side, they're kind of the signature look, aren't they? And key to how it works.
Absolutely crucial for the travel time function. Top one moves the local hour hand back an hour.
Click.
Bottom one moves it forward. Click. Really intuitive when you're jumping time zones.
Super easy.
But here's a really smart bit. They have this patented safety lock.
Ah, right. To stop you bumping them?
Exactly. You have to give them a little turn to unlock before you can push. Prevents accidental changes when you're, rushing through an airport or whatever.
That's very Patek. Thinking of the little details.
It really is, that level of user-focused engineering. And then there's another pusher, more standard, down at 6:30 for the date setting.
Gotcha. Okay, powering all this,
Mm-hmm.
the movement inside, caliber 26330 SC-SUS. That's their in-house automatic.
That's the one. Beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour, which is, a good modern frequency. 4 hertz.
Good for accuracy and robustness.
Yep. Power reserve is decent too, 35 to 45 hours. Pretty standard for this level of complication.
It's got all the Patek tech, right? Like the gold rotor?
Yeah. 21K gold rotor for efficient winding, Gyromax balance for precision adjustment, and the Spiromax balance spring. That's the silicon one.
Right. Anti-magnetic, stable with temperature changes.
Yeah.
Helps keep it accurate.
Exactly. Huge benefits in real-world use.
And, beyond the specs, there's just that incredible hand finishing on the movement itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about performance. It's about the artistry, the polishing, the chamfering. It's beautiful.
And the Patek Philippe seal guarantees that, right? Not just the movement, but the whole watch's performance.
Precisely. It covers the whole watch, cased up, and the accuracy tolerance is super tight. -3 to +2 seconds a day. That's chronometer plus level.
Wow. Really rigorous standards.
Okay.
Okay, and finishing it off, the strap. It's this khaki composite material.
Yeah, kind of a fabric look to it, black stitching. Gives it a slightly more casual, almost sporty feel.
Still refined, though. And the buckle, that's white gold, too, right? The clef buckle?
It is, and there's a cool story there.
Oh, yeah.
The design, that clevis shape, it's actually inspired by the harnesses pilots used way back when.
No way.
Yeah, to strap down their emergency kits. It's a direct nod to aviation history.
That is such a neat detail, like a little Easter egg for people who know.
Exactly, a thoughtful historical touch.
Amazing. So all this tech, this history, this Patek finishing,
Yeah,
the price tag reflects that, I imagine.
it does. The retail is EUR 58,900.
Okay, yeah, a serious investment.
Right.
But you're getting a lot of watchmaking for that.
You certainly are. Which kind of loops back to our main point, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, Patek Philippe, the masters of classicism elegance.
Right,
They're deliberately revisiting this, let's face it, somewhat unexpected pilot watch theme.
right.
And they're refining it. This new 5524G, same great mechanics, but with this really elegant ivory dial. It just shows this idea is sticking around, evolving.
Yeah, it's become part of their identity now, in a way.
Seems like it.
So maybe here's something to chew on. How does a brand like Patek, with such a deep, deep heritage in traditional design,
Yeah.
how do they tackle and sort of evolve something like a pilot's watch, which is fundamentally a tool?
That's a great question.
What does it say about how tastes are maybe broadening, or just the design possibilities, even at the very top end of watchmaking?
Right. It suggests even the most established houses can explore new ground, maybe unexpected ground.
Without losing who they are, they stay true to that core craftsmanship and engineering.
Exactly. This whole deep dive into just this one watch, the 5524G, it kind of opens up bigger questions, doesn't it?
It really does.
About that relationship between, heritage and innovation, and how these surprising design choices can actually maybe enrich a brand's story over time.
Yeah, even for the most iconic names out there, it's
Um.
fascinating to watch unfold.
Definitely. And you get the feeling this isn't the end of the story for Patek and the pilot watch theme either.